Hi guys, in this video we will be going to see how we are going to implement Sitemap.xml dynamic content in Kentico MVC core project. So what you are seeing, like we are going to have homepage, about, products or contact. This is going to be replicated on the sitemap. So first, like we are going to see what all prerequisite require, and we are going to see require configuration and adding a controller for our sitemap and adding a NuGet package required to build our links on the sitemap.xml. Then we will see how we are going to configure these page types, like in order to have it very generic way. You can use a base page type, one of the base page type, and inherit that particular page type into the respective page type in order to get that uh, complete columns into your respective page type. Next, we are going to write one generic method in order to pull those particular sitemap.links content, and then it is going to build our sitemap.xml. So let's get started. For these particular things, you need to have any of the Kentico instance ready in your machine. For a reference, I am just using Kentico 13 experience installed in my machine, which has Visual Studio as well as SQL Server, and instance of Kentico site in MVC or core. That means, like we are having two different application. One is for Kentico admin and one is for the presentation website. So in this presentation website, we are going to build our sitemap.xml. Okay. Next, the configuration required to do for our sitemap.xml is one. The thing is, you need to add your routing configuration. Inside the routing configuration, you are going to have a endpoint map to a controller. One of the controller you are going to put, that is sitemap, and inside that you are going to have an index.html and the pattern. So whatever the URL pattern required, that is sitemap.xml. That is the one which we are trying to build it with dynamic content on it. Okay. Next, you see it's a generic sample text, like pseudocode for our sitemap controller. Then this is the NuGet package, which is playing a major role. Have is the Kentico application. Right now I am using version 13.0.44 is the hotfix applied on it, and it is a dancing god application, which is pretty like a default sample site which Kentico gives us. Okay, so here, like we are trying to build the sitemap.xml for this site. So by default, Kentico does not gives you this configuration. You have to write by your own. So as we are doing a presentation separate application development, then definitely you have to write your own sitemap.xml for the Kentico MVC or the core project using .NET Core. Okay, so this the one, and here I have the admin panel of the same. Now get started with our code part, like how we are going to configure our sitemap configurations in the code. For that, I am already having a site code that is here. So as of now, you can see this is a same application which is hosted as the dancing code application, and here I will one by one add all those configuration and we'll check how does it play for us. Okay, let us put first the configuration. What all configuration require? First configuration is to have the endpoint. That means like sitemap.xml should get bind to a page. Okay, so in order to do that, that you can write the endpoint configuration here. So here you can write endpoints dot Kentico, no, not Kentico, sorry, map controller. So inside map controller you are going to have your name, what name you wanted to add it for your configuration. Okay, so here I am just adding SEO sitemap. Then I can add, sorry, it's sitemap controller route. Okay, yeah, there we go. So here we have this. Then we are going to add a pattern. What pattern we want our sitemap to be replicate? That is nothing but our generic sitemap.xml. Then you can have a defaults for this. Defaults are nothing but what particular controller you wanted to hit for this particular URL. Okay, here write your controller, what controller you want. Sorry, new controller equals to, I'm just writing sitemap. Okay, sitemap controller, and what action we want. Action should be our index action. Okay, so this is how you are going to just add your configuration. So that let me refresh this page as well as this. Then we are going to just browse and check whether we are our configuration, the first configuration which we have made in order to build our page for a sitemap.xml. So that page should be browsable first of all. So for that reason we made that endpoint configuration with the route saying sitemap controller, and then we have an index action on it. Okay, so let us see in it's loading, yeah, it's loaded now. Oh, you can see this, yeah, our configuration is working. That means it is trying to check for the views, what the default views location. It is that is nothing but our MVC pattern, route patterns. It will check for default location. That means like our configuration is fine. Then let's get started. Just make it sitemap. Okay, so the controller name is sitemap, and sitemap it is configured here. Here I have our sitemap controller and index action method. Okay, so after that, like we need to add one NuGet package. That is nothing but a package called simple MVC sitemap. Okay, so this is a pretty cool. Let us see that how it is going to build a complete sitemap.xml by just passing our dynamic data to it. Okay, let's see that in action. I'm trying to install this particular sitemap. Yeah, there we go. Like you can see the sitemap MVC NuGet has been added here. Now let's see in our controller what all we are going to add it in order to make our dynamic content to be available in our sitemap.xml page. Okay, so let's see. First we should have one add the namespaces required for this. That is multi, not multiple, it's multi document query, which is in this. Then I'm trying to add one function handler. That is nothing but our multi query, multi document query, which is going to get me the data. It's going to be a kind of arrow function, and having document helper. What all types required, you can put it here. Then I am just configuring it to have some cache settings for this. So I have some ready-made code for that, just putting it here and trying to put this cache setting coming from helper. And the site name again, you need to use our site context. Let's get that also, which I already have in handy. And the site context, we need CMS site provider namespace to be added. Oh, there we go, our method has been ready now. Now how does this method we are going to use to build our complete nodes for our sitemap.xml? Okay, now see, it's pretty simple now. As we have already installed the NuGet package manager, there, like here, that particular namespace I are going to add it here, sitemap MVC. See this namespace I have added. Now here we are going to build a collection of nodes. Okay, let's see, sitemap node, collection of sitemap node. This node is coming from simple sitemap MVC. You can see simple MVC sitemap site node. Okay, so here I will be getting nodes collection. Okay, let me post the same as I remove the namespace. Let's add the generic namespace. Then after this, now I am going to get the content for whatever the page type I wanted to bind it on this particular page. So I already have a method called getXML. So here I am going to get all my documents, and then for each nodes I am going to add the new node. Okay, let's see how we are going to add the new node, that is sitemap node. And we have a URL is nothing but the one which we are getting the column name, that is node alias path, we are getting it. Okay, so here inside this dot node alias path you can get it, and then configure the other properties, as this node has a lot of other properties which you can build it for sitemap.xml file, which will get in the nodes like URL and last modified date, change frequency, priority, images, and news. What all you want, you can put it the feeds, what all feeds you need it there. Okay, so let's get here. I will just configure, as we are getting only modified when is nothing but last modified date we get. Okay, here we can configure last modified date with whatever the date we getting in dot document modified when. Okay, this is the class name, well, this is the column name which we are getting it here. And then close this. That means like our collection is ready now. Now this index is expecting to get the response like this action result. For that also this thing, not sure what's happening. Okay, let's take the date of it. Then here look, the index is expecting to have some result, right? So the result is nothing but our page which we need the data, right? So for that also it is very simple. This sitemap provider you can use and just create your sitemap. and pass the complete node collection here, sitemap models, and pass the nodes. What all nodes you have, you are going to pass that nodes here, and there we go. Like our controller method has been ready now. And as just to give you a clear idea of this code, like just I'm getting current site name and the culture, then I'm passing that same for the cache settings. And apart from that, this particular document helper get documents, it's getting me the data that has to be bind in the nodes of our sitemap.xml. So and here you can pass multiple types as well, or you can use types dot all. Types dot all is one of the function call we can make it use. I think that is not there right now with me. Let me tell you what exactly that. Oh yeah, there we go. Like if you wanted to have all your page types you want, then you can just simply write tree provider dot all class names. If you use this, then all your document will be getting, but make sure that these column names should get added into that particular class, whatever the page type you are binding it in the types method. Okay, now we are good. Yeah, good to see this. And now let's see how we are going to the changes in our db for these particular things. And then we will just have a look how we are going to change it to be very generic in the sense, like if you wanted to have it multiple class types, then you should make use of having one base page type, and that is going to have a common column names like this, include in sitemap equal. These type of column names you can use there, and inherit that particular page type into your respective page type. But that way also we can make sure that like multiple things it will be available, all your common columns will be available in one of the base type. Okay, so let's see these things in our db how we are going to add it. Okay, for that again we need to do a build for this. So before building, just clear this so that we will get a new DLLs generated. Okay, now I'm building my application to get the latest DLL generate for our changes. It's right. Yeah, so our build is ready now. Let us just refresh our pages to get the things ready. Okay, so here I'm just refreshing my pages. See, already I'm browsing a page called sitemap.xml. We should have something now on this page. We have already kept, as you can see, I did not created any views, but while returning it I returned the complete data that has to be built on this. Okay, so these you can see, this I already have some content ready for it. So as we see that our content, let me go and tell you how that particular data has came up into this sitemap.xml, these two content. So here what class name we have used, we have used the class name called coffee. Yes, so in this coffee class name I have already added the column name called include in sitemap. Okay, this is the column name which we have used in our code also to get filter all my documents. Okay, so that particular column name and the type of this particular page type. Okay, So this is how it has there. Now the content, when it goes to the content, you can see these particular pages are available here in coffee slash this. You can see this store coffee slash this Brazil or Bolivia. So here you can see showing sitemap true. This is true, that's why those two has came in. And second one also it is true, yeah, that has came in. Now let me get something randomly from somewhere else and mark it as showing sitemap true. Then you can just refresh this page. See, there we go, we got this particular item here. And this is how you are going to build this complete up sitemap.xml page dynamically with all the page type required for you to be having the sitemap.xml page. So as I said, like we can make use of any of the base page type. So let's try to do that by changing this. So here as we added this page column name, okay, so I'm just going to delete this column name from here. Now let's see, I'm going to create one new page type. Here you just put something called SEO meta and type your saying code. Sorry, let us put this way, namespace and this, and exported this, and I need something to put it, no issue, and next, and put this next. Next you are going to add the same field name here, okay, so the whatever column name is include inside map. Okay, this is the one, and here putting checkbox and putting default and putting show inside map as a label and check mark, and just put it save, then make it ready. No issue, I don't need it, and finish it. Yeah, so this is the one page type you can use it for inheriting that particular thing. Now you can see it will get break because we don't have the column name in this particular page type. Okay, so you have to make sure that whatever the page type you are including in your code, that should have this column name. Now as we have removed that, then we can add that by using coffee, and here you can see the inherit field from page type. Here you can just check add SEO meta and save it, then you can see that particular field get added to your page. Okay, now let's see, here it should not get break now, and we don't have any content because we already removed that field earlier and added it. So now you can see in our custom properties, as this is a product SKU, that it will have a lot of other properties for SKU. Apart from that, it is going to have your custom properties which you have built for this. Okay, so just save it and refresh. Here we go. Like this is how you are going to use the generic way of handling this as well, but you are going to make sure that you will have your column name for the page types, what all page types you are including in your types method. Okay, so thanks for watching this video and seeing the implementation of sitemap.